a reduce. So how can you say America intina Ghana sika no enya hoden. Na the Nigeria the only America for nya adwuma. A warp logic. This is where you can put in that word warp. But senior name anasisano odame because of nsesan bi aba. Say KMP before negusu wa ban mu a penifo bu baby say senior wonam no sa no yeden oda. KMP before negusu wa ban mu a by this time the dollar nke hinchi closer to 20 cedis. But enam say Ghana for e kom pai bom kom kotodwa nim kasa kire nyankopon the spirit of discernment e gu Ghana for so my to about December 7 yanye mistake yes the leadership of this country the new leadership by we are seeing a change.
The policies ben na mudi egu kwemu a betumi a pinpoint bi a che ma sidi no again strength
purely a matter of leadership. President Mahama
and the fact say sisa MPP na
President Mahama Beye Mampeni through the implementation of Gold Board.
Okay.
They are checkmating the smuggling of gold from this country. I ran MPP for 8 years. There was a time we went to Minkwa called TV so. At the gold bars, more than 40 actually Ghana for. You need them. Something that is supposed to be in the hands of Bank of Ghana.
Na mobile makwaji.
Maybe you discuss it. You discuss it. But to be anywhere and now, under President Mahama, Obechimia holding that kind of gold. It will get into the hands of Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Saniemano o check the smuggling of it. Now Abrofo, President Mahama Bananu ya so several times actually Indians are repatriating Chinese for are repatriating. One discuss through FDI about Ghana. Ghana has some of their foreign direct investment near there. One say gold now, no more smuggle fat Togo. Ha, no more deco. Meanwhile, sir, Niama way in Niama a boosted the reserves of the economy, a boosted the exchange of the economy. Because our mine will gold, baby, our honomoa. Oh, dissolve gold, no, not the Jedi dollars. And Tiabriano, na Bank of Ghana, no, and our mine, our dollar or honomoa. A man for mu here dollar over the bedigano. In pinche bibri anya day, embem.
There's a gold board by na boa.
A boa maya harmonize the system.
Okay, no, one factor.
Yes, silly all the loopholes were. E ma go de free or mine more mining timinya gold or the bedane aje dollar.
Okay.
I just saw just here. Two, major one. Young Crawford bibri time can wasem. Okay, Cecilia Dapa.
The kind.
Okay, I said that's good in them was more than $10 million.
Mehubi.
But what was
oh yes.
Sika you yes. The Sika $1.5 million. Well, send the Sika short to $1.5 million. If $1.5 million, those that time maybe count has a see che ama and Crawford nipa be 5,000 obi abenya 10,000 cedis. Yes, share oh kwan ho enye sika ketwa. Ye finish sika well hu. Because you owe me 200 cedis me wallet to say any second me hu. But you 1.5 million, not just a sika was start share go on. It's in excess of 10 million.
Okay.
Omo ye o my Ghana abro. This was a sanitation minister.
Enti
sika na MPP for na start share go omo dem no. Aye in dollars and pounds no. Na nye sika ketwa. Enu ti de ka ho e ma dollar e shorty e wo system no. Because sika say pie e wo bank wa bank no on keep sika no on.
There's a hoarding.
They hoarded the dollars. Aban John Mahama buy ya. Ora ye juma ye bora man for fear no, they are afraid. Now, because of that fear, they are bringing out those monies.
And so another policy.
It's not about policy. It's one of the factors. If we don't chase them.
Okay, so we have a policy and a factor.
No, if you don't chase them through Ora, what's that policy there at the results, bro? And so what the Ora aba, you believe us and Crophobia starchy dollars them. Deal with them. Now they are bringing the dollar. Are you not getting results?
Okay.
Prudent management. First quarter of this year.
The third one.
First quarter. Sika cocoa board. Enya through export of cocoa. A 1.8 billion. A 3 times Sika cocoa board enya during MPP time last year. Same time. 3 times higher cocoa board. Then you check some inefficiencies.
Okay.
Prudent management of the economy. And you see, Metimiasi Mebuaka say last year about 2/3 of revenues as I say back on my Ghana hot through cocoa board no e kwam krankra butum e ka ho e na on no na yedim bibi esi mina yemia.
Okay.
President Mama Beye president are checking losses in the system no cocoa board are increasing the revenue in this first quarter 3 times. And don't forget the cocoa board revenue is not in cedis.
1 minute.
It's in dollars. Omo ton cocoa na omo de jida in dollar. Eti President Mahama leadership now make ho asem no. Leadership must solve problems. And I'm say or they check near manti. Aspect BSS the dollar eba no. Those aspects are bringing in more dollars than they used to.
Nti se Baomiaka say mobile mun to gold and I say gold reserve no mun for because 1 ton kranka ho a. But ono no dia na oye na dollar
ferry Baomia. Dollar or ferry Baomia.
So do you bank bonde.
Ma show near money be me can be achiro.
I'm so would you bank nda
I've given you now ultimate grow adie na to that particular in here then wo. Why were you not exchanging it with dollar? Also they talk petrol. Also gold for oil.
No, gold for reserve.
No, that been best start to gold for reserve. Also gold for oil. They were using the gold to hedge on oil.
And gold for reserve.
And so throughout the time period of
Bank of Ghana governor no na kase.
And so it is management. How were they managing? How were they managing it? Ukra gold. I just say MVP for you buy here. Yamo 5,000 megawatts of power generation capacity. Almost a door so do. Other than President Mama invested so much in energy sector. They complain about it. They couldn't use it to solve problems. Ukra golds and to say when to me and fan check your currency. Obiaba or they checking the currency or say me na me yet to.
There's a Bank of Ghana governor in your can and yeno credit.
Because on yeno credit. Then waka.
So say a previous administration or more gold reserve no.
And now we are managing here into all reserve gold. No, how were you managing it?
Okay, so
it is the management of it. Now the okra gold. No, now to me, and dissolve gold in forex. Engu memu enfan trade here, emboa traders are. No be at the exchange dollars at the trade at the boosty trader. Then you come and tell me say when I to honum.
Okay.
The dollar was at a free speed. Echo, and you are telling me that you were building reserves.
Okay.
John Mahama amemu no at the leadership for abeshim.
Okay.
Ama dollar enye issue biem. Dollar na hoden ene Ghana cedi hoden no. Cedi hoden na basuro na dollar.
So na we dey share by June the na cedi na a dollar be 7 cedi.
Den a be flat at a point. In economics, you should know there will be an equilibrium.
Because me kai June can say COVID by February, March, April, May no more na nkwala bi to nyimo so by June there no be Manuel, dollar CD appreciation.
So that me that say. Me fa kwenye iso di achia. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, the former vice president, and Haji Asemira Baumia. I think Yakubu si anano pay ono so tie. It's in Tiason Kodemano. And the deputy Greater Accra regional youth organizer, Mandela Riafe.
Okay.
So that mean NDC for a day in tata yenua adenta kumi me see me kabi kekena ma call the main the substantive discussion and we share your general secretary lawyer Justin Frimpong Kodua or TC mu or say by hook or crook and dra I was say yenua adenta kumi ye jaino no befie ebeka na yere ho e de nebusuan. Unfortunately na area no nyinsen ayem hihie nti akora na ehye ne yem akora ne hwere ne nkwa innocent blood and there
are you saying this for
because
a fact?
Yes, it's the truth. And dra na yere no on him 4 months
when you miscarriage.
Yes, because of IDAC which is so sad because of political victimization ti akora onim hwe wahwere ne nkwa. It's so sad, but posterity will judge all of us. So that mean
Manuel,
I was saying you say or a core member of the NDC. It's maybe or among betina fidie so enka. Currently, Yera John Dramani Mahama, any economic management team here. There is no economic management team. So, what mean by let's say, where I say, under Yera Baumia, it's me board. There is no economic management team. Yemame, Jane, Manana Jane Pukwajiman, Onyeshe, Intimesrel. We shouldn't misinform the ordinary Ghanaian. Say economic management team be or why. Yeah, omo so and I say omo betauti omo ye there be. There is nothing like that. Metwaso. Binyo yeah, my Mrs. Iliada Pai, she said, na omo hoarded the previous government hoard this car. Oh, Mr. Adame, sa conversation, I'm in person this Nibia can be him. Because you chroma, you say government officials now. Cry ye did CDs no more dollars. We have government officials who are spending dollars in this economy. Omundi CDBMO. Omuhu na only omuchan for nipe no match our dollars. Omuhu no omuchan for nipe no match our dollars. Eti aban aban edwumayefo ejai CDD wo mamu ha. Busa hu say if truly omu wo gidie e wo CD ni mu ada na omundi CD a omu hoard dollars. Ene omem ha almost spend dollars. Ministers, CEOs, managers, na mana dollars is omu cars mu and omu de nam. Mu wo GD o CD nima, why not spend the CDs? Enti ma misili ada pa issue there. Besrel for mo ankasa mo reputation. Mamu mbo ye ma me edin biem because mo can it indict your own reputation. No ka oral. What have we been able to achieve with oral so far? What's what I mean? Ora what say Oma be Oma after Omo shenanigans Omo ye nyina. What be after the oral committee ni Omo dey do Omo ye. When result be free mum so that me.
Omo so Omo dey am attorney general.
Oh yeah dey.
Omo dey report ni na man to Omo echira hwe.
Okay so say the deputy attorney general by say ni Omo ti oral report ni na say here say. Atit Omo kan say kra otwi mu. Atisem enko na oral we ni mu. So oral no so dey be amoba. Because you've not been able to achieve anything with the oral thing. And yesterday, man, also, Mambo Hudi. Cocoa. Is what I mean. And this is about my planting cocoa. I'm going to buy 4 months. Say 4 months or say 5 months. I'm going to cocoa. So that means cocoa, last year, last 2 years, I held it. This year, and no more time, boy. So then why do you want to praise yourself? Say because obia cocoa. Na baya say sa wo babe ti cocoa akwa 20. We should praise you for that. From next year, ena mo ankasa so mu cocoa this year mu bedua. Mo beti akọ. Eno na ebetimi ebu atan say oh, you've improved. And na say we improve here. O man akonya say onbo policies are Omaye ama dollar no abedu mpempenso a ebeduri. He wasn't able to say any government policy bia Oma implemented.
But what do you want to hear?
Wait me on any government policy bia. You can't say oh gold board be. So that mean gold board shall say ejumaye how many months here?
Barely 4 months.
Barely 4 months. Close a month.
Yeah, okay. Gold board.
Gold board.
Who's a PMMC wo?
Yes.
No, some if you acting.
Yes.
And or they are turning a gold board.
Yes. So, it's gold board, as in gold board, almost show muju media say.
So PMMC was also working.
PMMC, dear, and then na gold board there. PMMC now or allow we say private companies. Enti ton gold meboa.
Yeah.
Afei gold board no ono na ti gold ni nyina. O say no private we private on ka ho.
Yeah.
Me na me ye kan regulator. Me also na me to eton. Me also na me ye kan say court. Me di me ankasa masem. Enti the scheme of gold board different from ye kan say PMMC. Gold board sha nejuma say a month enie. And I would idea sing now see gold board na yate. Because that me de whenever I engage MPP for Mesimunim, they want to take glory for what is happening now. Munjai mom. There are facts. wangasa o governor of the Bank of Ghana admit say reserve say they to home am baako say international factors so eka ho but when the communicators go on radio and TV on be so there be adia experts for na ka no ma yen fa nya adwuma yankasa yenko kan ya adwen in favor the government. This what I mean. To me, I NDC and on my omuno mama dollar na edien abafom. John Dramani Mahama, even though on your policy biya oba bemu keke. Ama dollar edien abafom yate. This what I mean. They be amikasa same way. Let's give time some time. Let's just give time some time. Because only say they've not started government you can't say capital expenditure. Yes. Most started capital expenditure. Any number one. And I only say capital expenditures no be are in US dollars. Beboa. And also and over. Capital expenditure already US. Now say na me say money China for assets or more issue. Therefore, on best China best say demanded dollars to import things from US. And also your reserve me kaso si aden na mo gold and a man fine she so that me obi any wa o use reserves for political gains who your government now see me be use reserve for political gains the future will expose you. Aye. Because you keep a reserve for bad days and even though the city was at 14 cities 70 pesos under us, no. We didn't think it wise. It never came to mind. Say you go for a reserve and from be shame to have a short term for a short term glory. There be reserves are kept for bad days. Reserves are kept for days. You see, you say okuwe sigana. And I say bibi to say sa COVID any Russia Ukraine war na bim no. Na asaba biem. That's when you unim say a buy in your quarter tier reserve. Unim sa. Now reserve now was so high, I think around 9 billion. When that issue came, and your quarter tier man is sinking back, I think about around 4 or 5 billion or so. And before we left, yes, our money cost biem. We don't use our reserve for political gains. But we just give time sometimes, so that me. Let's give time some time. I am maybe. Who you so reserve to show up your CD because you want to score political pointer. In the near future, won't me use reserve ni now. A bedroom baby, I won't me use reserve ni BM. That's where we expose near the Eshas and only a best ababes na radio ni TV so. Near Busa say, $80 air cost run and also a John Mahama. Any EMT no, and I said, it
is a idea buffer. Ntina se sidi awoka no mu MPP for brapa mo boy gu ho nti na mai kwofom na na
won say yes we enkan fo enche enkan fo ne ho because me dey be na radio ni TV so I expect journalists no for no so mubusa no so omoma Ghana phone so ehun the fact say ade aye ka no eye no kre and asenye no kre then the ordinary Ghanaian will know say maybe who your host no when you're affiliated in the political party, you can tell the ordinary Ghanaian say, Ampa, ye jai 30 tons of gold and I say yinja. Your reserve, na 10 billion and 8.8 or 8.9 or so billion. Ye jai and I say yinja. That's the question I was say the ordinary Ghanaian, ye catch your money say your man say aye. When the previous government was leaving, sanet ye, they told me is there any tariff war? And I say anyhow, we let the ordinary Ghanaian know that one also. At the end of the day, so I'm saying let's just give time some time. When they start doing the capital expenditure, it will expose them. When they can no more touch reserves, that one too will expose them. And I am made that so say, omodi weni nyina e dia kwakwashe gold board kon. Say gold board by the end of the year, if you don't see the CD being at the rate I who say siano, na say kosra, that one too will come and ask them say, why na say sia? Is it John Dramani Mahama? Is it gold board? And I say why?
Is that your prayer?
No, any prayer no. But we are speaking facts. If you are not doing capital expenditure, you don't demand dollars. Meboa.
Matthias, yeah.
Yes. Any way, but the fact when the demand is high, basic economics. When demand is high and supply is low, there will be shortage.
I buy on year bibi papa bi odi ginechire actually say waiting na $1 na eba for.
And no kind of government policy no. They be ambition this say tell me one policy.
Some dem fear list about 3 of them.
Because what I do all list you know. The external factors, the reserve and at the end of back and government policies. And because a government policy now, vague. You need to be specific. And now gold board so a gold board esha nejuma say month nie. And I tell him say within a month. Gold board and then it's you significant change say na. Let's just give time some time. If truly more that competence is what I mean. I don't still a year who do so.
Unsa make us PMMC was working just dealing with what's
yeah, I know that.
Into the third point, and also robust forest inflows and as related foreign reserves accumulation through unprecedented gold purchases and exports by the PMMC stroke gold board.
And I'm Mr. 1 month in here. 1 month in here, no,
like no purchase.
Yes.
PMMC was in existence.
And our reserve. Or reserve no or I admitted to that.
Good.
And the issue of PMS now what about Beji Jumedi na ama won kwango ye. Why export gold? It's understandable. Already the price of gold akos when him say so that me. When him say the price of gold. I know now Ubusa NDC say why is it say that the cedi is appreciating against all currencies, not only the dollars. Because globally there is global uncertainty. So people are rather investing in gold rather than in currencies.
Okay.
So with that, and then the price of gold,
okay.
Because the demand for gold are high. Once there is a demand and the supply is low, and then what happens? When the demand is high, supply is low, there is shortage. Therefore, it brings in inflation.
Okay.
Where your basic economics.
1 minute.
Mr. Odame, let's leave it to them. But if you are very competent, Mr. Odame, send your more canon. Some weight may be about Sikasem. Yes, Remo. What about Dumso? What about Dumso? Number one. What about Galamsey? Number two. Mr. Odame, what about data? Data prices.
Sector minister say by the end of the year. Drop.
Okasa pan onyeshe. Sam George. Okasa onyeshe. Or what opposition? What you say about data?
No, see them.
Oka bibi say what the first budget. Video no the specific as was the first budget say the BBB tariff or more we are binded to so no. Or say bemuso mube here. He used a particular word before back maybe I'll play the video and they get you the particular word.
Okay.
But and then first budget and capture side no. Enti ebusan say Yera Sam George, where is your credibility? So far as NDC phone na ministers phone na adeba kwa me Pedro Mahama asem ne say nkrofo mu ye dede e wo various sectors ni nyina obaye no ode omu nyina so ato
ode ahye wonsa
ye ne yenhwe.
Okay.
Sam George flop wo share papa de oye dede we amakofi bua ode dede
se wakwebu
yen declare state of emergency and wadane mu wo share ku to ablakwa ono de ade ba kwa me pe won kasa bebre de oya ne se ade e ho dada no wa hyeda san de ababiem se me ye ne ya expose no ade e dada no de aba me ye ne ya expose no
e bi ne away.
Oh, just recently the fufuro bi by you say afi visa obenya 3 days
5 days
5 days but in actual fact no e ho dada
sir also improve ncha no
wait the former deputy foreign minister approve chair yes e man screenshot nyina e de chair say oh twantro
na chip embedded passport ni so
video why you launch here the first person onya here na na dan kwa Akufo-Addo but all can also the nipo when you first Julius Debra it's a lie ye launch obi a issue ni the first one
much as somebody get you go
oh there say woka say yes the internet doesn't forget there me di wiem so that me there me di we yes person say ras some okuje to ablakwa Monday ye nyina ye person okuja no e Jubilee House no ko submit a resignation letter.
Why?
Before the election oka say aban John Mahama ba na say omofa private jet ono per principle
omofa private jet saying
when they procure the service of any private jet say na ye maame eba omama ne for private jet or dey buy ye or see ebesia ono obe resign because of principle enti boys and girls so
dey maame all corner na say all ban
no na say ya all ban no or the private jet mu no dey buy private jet mu e no dey buy $11,000 per hour private jet e no dey buy enti mebu no mo Ghana nyina e adwen say nyame adoma Monday ye kwa kwotwe na foreign ministry maybe so be kwa some handing over new maybe wo ho a ye kwa kwotwe no e wo ho
no be ni obe resign.
Oh, that means he lacks credibility. So when you say that he lacks credibility.
Brian.
Enti dia midiwie. Dia bi midiwie. Me say me anunsi na nka ombrem. Dia be say ekoja no e wo Jubilee House. Enti obi ambra foreign ministry e wo airport wo side no. Yembe bo chenku na yendi ye wo fa ye bra echi no ko submit a resignation letter on Monday. Me da say.
Manuel Dako from the MPP na wotin Kano. Offer you. CD, dollar, and I say dollar CD appreciation. Your perspective. Ona a fair view.
At least, if for nothing at all, our CD is appreciating. I don't know how long it will take. Even if it takes 2 days, the city has appreciated to a level.
Also, see, I brought 2 days.
I'm only making even if it is 2 days, I appreciate to a level unprecedented, both in the history of our Fourth Republic in terms of say, cedi any dollar, and token. Now. It is one thing I think, say, but of course, it is politics. And I understand. Now, what is interesting is that anything good for Ghana, one side of the political divide wouldn't like it or wouldn't want to give credit. Odame, say, oh, Papa. We see a die. Now we do lintel level. Now say, it be a man fancy or the job. So one may complete. I'm boss one. A dan is more or less useless.
Yes.
So a dano. If you crumple or do lintel level at the India Gusua, and I say in the ideas. Eguso. I say you didn't chance in Eguso. Now say one fine chance in Uncle Gusua. Want to mean Uncle them. Unless it be a can say a bansro. Into back or that's the right. Before your friend is say Rollins Ankasa Kropo power in civilian, if he say not Anya Shukrano. Ghana and as a Bank of Ghana. Ebi anaye will gold reserve. Ebedu ebi abese 1 ton and more. Sanso no man paying for buy no. Whatever it was no. A little gold reserve might have been accrued. NDC ebe beam. I'm sure say a little more gold reserve might have been accrued. And nothing about 8 point something gold reserve NPP buy. Almost 4 years our first term. We didn't hear anything about say to gold until almost second tenure of office in 2022 thereabout stand to be corrected. And our governor of Bank of Ghana, Roberto Abontin say, per se, and as I buy governor and as I buy say, ombe shas yes ombe to gold and keep. Those were the period na ya kasa omaya enter se Ghana you too good. As you go the two your reserves no at the time 8.4. It became a topical issue. It was based on that, and that is where I am very much happy about the public opinion. The shaky governance, it was that period I remember very well. And Governor of Bank of Ghana, Eba Bontin, said they will buy gold and keep. It was within that period, and enough fuel prices, exchange rate and the numbers 15 near 3 to 16. And His Excellency, the former Vice President, Eba Bontin, said they were coming out with a policy. The main reason of the policy was to ensure, say, you fuel prices are never for Meboa. And two, to ensure, say, exchange rate no a beba form. Because now, as I see, your terms security, dear, see the near done na dollar near the Akoto Fango. And Sasikano, now who are demaying. Nti na dum so no crap essentials ya na you could be say almost in fire and cassette timetable man. Nti former vice president no and no bet announce whether it was a cabinet meeting or more agree on that I can't tell, but for what I know they said former vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de Batwa Bontin said they were going to exchange gold for oil. And so they will buy gold and then use it to get the oil. Don't forget say not Ghana so and another Danko Kufuado. Akofa Bibi a friend community mining Abba. And the community mining, in my opinion, was supposed to have been manned by say communities na yeko mining gold. We say 100 gold catches to augment and also to help in the small scale mining, community mining. So the baby to me anya more gold. And that machine is not very, very laudable idea. But as to how it was used and its accountability remains an issue today that needs to be resolved and needs to be investigated. Now, that policy was implemented. The gold for oil. You implement it and check and I say, even though on record and in the books, the gold for oil policy is one of the best that would have helped this country. Yet, people's interest within the party was woven into the policy. In the now, quite say, young from Starby. Into Odame, Menote, Yabekai. Say, so be fair. Gold for oil and a chassis, I think the latter part of 2022. Bisa who say, see no appreciate you and now say fuel prices about 4 man. Let us be fair and ask these questions or answer them. Right. About fuel prices and I say see the appreciate you now. We didn't see anything of the source.
Almost stability, man, stability.
You don't worry. Yes, don't worry.
Yes, Uncle, but trigger crab and alcohol. Hey, why?
You see, you see, Odame.
Yeah.
Let's face facts. Say, former Vice President Obeka Nokrepa. Na say anka enye say aban party wom a no so pay ni akọ. Enna nkomo mu di na chi omu nyina de ba beto abontra. Nkrofo interest na ma papa no ni vision or whatever it is that he brought on board failed. Right? Now, gold for oil no. NDC by say na policy no e hostel. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the NGA me use the fact say papa si dan jaw. Now one cruise we do lentil level. Now also one cruise I don't ye meaningless. So beto agumusa na won't mean ko dem sa raw, right? Enti 8 point something gold reserves na wo ho no. Bank of Ghana by announces on beto biaka ho. It was after Bank of Ghana had announced that thing and started buying the gold and send the gold for oil no so buy, right? Enti I want to believe say yes, gold for oil no. Gold na omo accumulating no. Ebi can reserves na the but before the gold for oil came, now Bank of Ghana had already started buying gold until the reserves would have even accumulated above the 8.4 that we had. Until the gold for oil policy no, who say it appears they added about 24 point something. It's not entirely say gold for oil. Gold reserve are short up. But let us accept that they added this, and you can't take it from them. They added about 20 tons more to the reserves that we have, right? Or 22 point something to the reserves that we had. That 22 no or more canon. Part of it was from Bank of Ghana's initiative with the government, and so it is not entirely for say gold for oil and the buy. Now we had this reserve of
some say policy too. Gold for oil and gold for reserves.
The reserves and American say reserves no a Bank of Ghana policy or bear now so yeah.
It's Bank of Ghana so you buying now.
I know, my state I have stated say in tandem with government of Ghana, no, Bank of Ghana be reported or be announced so Obeto gold. It was after that and sign a gold for oil and so policy back. Okay, that's what I'm trying to.
Okay,
into make say. The 22 point something almost or more the possibility say Bank of Ghana a certain amount and then go for oil then a certain amount is there, right? Now the NDC came to inherit this quantum of gold reserve, right? The NBC I must say, if they didn't turn it around, if they didn't utilize it well, and can you be the improvement that we are having now? First, we cannot run away from the fact that there has been a fiscal discipline within the finance aspect and monetary discipline within the monetary aspect from the Bank of Ghana. And on a but you see, the advice that the former vice president claimed or is alleged he was given to cabinet and now it was, you can quantify it as fiscal indiscipline. Because the office and Kabeyamo or mano or Moanfa. Sansuna, Uba a Bank of Ghana side no. What was the projections of debt? Ana yewo. Ukwa a table no. Ye bought 60.8 billion. Bank of Ghana bought 60.8 billion. Omo project is said 2025 no. A Bank of Ghana be born about 30 something billion. Cedis. Then 2026 so a Kana Bank of Ghana was I think 8 point something billion, and the Babedu 2027 I think 3 point something or 2 point something billion. A car Babe consistently no. As we speak, the governor of Bank of Ghana has announced that Bank of Ghana will not incur any debt this 2025.
Okay.
Why? Because the gold that was being smuggled out haphazardly, and let me remind you of one thing. Emma Obia Enyana Dwen say, and Rechi. Nkrofona yekochi wo no mkro sika puduo enam nkrase o moto gold any gold by CZ ye no e ma enye obi adwen se NDC buy ye pena saade ne ekoso e yade a ekoso dada but ekoye except I arrest you 50-50 otherwise you go to jail
and who can keka na say
massa you see these people are ye chi wo no for all you know the possibility said they have links with some members of the previous administration or and even some members of the
links. No, me chese.
Melandia.
Now can who party say?
Me see the possibility say they have links with some members of the previous administration who were into mining, and even probably links with the current administration who people who are probably also into mining is high, because when the previous administration was there. Mining licenses do na ya dem mass small scale miners no more MPP for right into say who share by extension it doesn't mean say that trade was not going on. Indeed ye nyina ye nim some say ye nim say Lebanese for Chinese for any Arab for no omo konkrase ekoto to gold no enya ade a efe na aba but samre no na ne che no ye chia people were so self-centered say instead see a Bemana state in Hondia, Yancha, Yancha, you be exposed. And to be a foreigner or also a better no saying he has to pay some ransom to them near Jano.
Okay.
This is what was going on. You see, what they missed was to put in place a measure that would ensure that nobody was exporting the gold outside. And no na NDC buyer, what they be put in place, and the Emma Sankrofoni, that is not to say, they are not smuggling. We can still have people that they are still smuggling.
Yeah.
Yes. We can also possibly have still they will also connive with people to export, right? There were individuals or more they are self-centered. And what it is that if the law is stiffer and the punishment, the law is enforced and the punishment is stiffer, Uber will say it will be difficult for people to smuggle the gold out of the country, thereby robbing in more gold to the gold board. As you see, what take charge say, or no better every single gold produced in this country, including 20% of the big miners, no more money more than now. So no taxes, no more. They are to your friend is saying, big miners, no, so no, I think 12.something%, no, large scale miners, no, and also no, babe augment your coffers. And you see, now I appreciate here. A month for allude to the fact, oh, tariff war or trade war. And I say, yeah, see a move swaba. I am of the view, say, me, my time studio, what I say, the rate at which the city is appreciated, seriously speaking, because the way forms are, me ya bohu say, na se Kobane say, Kosro, na se speed is and you see a woo, because
Bank of Ghana governor say we shouldn't
panic. Because time we could do 17, the city was depreciating, but not at the speed at which the city is appreciating now.
Yeah.
So I bet you to
oh, it is true.
Me, I heard the bombing. And I'm saying, say, let us not politicize this thing, because Bank of Ghana governor, why was saying we know how to figure this out. Now that the gold for gold board and I say are buying, any taxes are good. Large scale miners, it means that we are going to get more revenue from there. I think so once a year making sure say just a gold board amount license sector. Now what talk about now what they buy gold board. It means that the reserve by the close of a year 4 years, if this particular system is run, I wouldn't be surprised say we may hit about more than 100 tons of gold in terms of reserve. But if we have 100 tons of gold in terms of reservoir, you think say yet you see the no engine brand e be brand. I am not saying say Steve never appreciate I could see a session for the American me borokeke. Yes, a be from pa be do baby no e be stop. Na ho na abeye to say mbraka equilibrium a to say anu a na be kosoro kakra e kira na ba from kakra sa e ho na e be sensen mu. But we should be happy as Ghanaians. So at the end form. Rather no the SSC you criticizing and you can't want some say. See do not appreciate it. How are we feeling it in our pocket in terms of goods and services? This should be the argument. Why should we be labor about the fact say yeah. Into doom so ekoso. You see, let us not go that time, because when NPP came to power and World Bank and IMF had projected the growth of FNSA the 2017, 2018, 19. Yeah, it is for Becca say it was what we have put in place. Any projections are IMF, the World Bank, and people for Ampreda Ebesin. Into Yahubida. Into others, you say, instead of asking for the real things about your pocket, as we speak, and for us, what day, and in feeling where your pocket. Okay. Or more digra the one. Because motor iron rods, or more babontia becca say, or motor iron rod, they should align the prices to what is happening now. It is so we are asking for all traders. Say, no matter Mukofa basis here within, say, see the start say, I appreciate you. Momenti so, man for in your binto. Because I can assure you, tomatoes, ne bosses here, and yet tomatoes, a bucket. Oh, to a moi, ne boy a ding. But I know, say, oil, say, a swati. Cooking oil, a swat from power. And rather, no, your conversation shouldn't be politicized, it shouldn't be a blame game. Rather, we should put it in the public domain. Say, the cost or more allied goods and services. That's how I feel about the whole thing.
All right. Yao, Asani Tano, political analyst now training Kano. Quick rebuttal be rich.
You can't. Economic policy.
We're 2 minutes on the CD dollar.
Yeah. And yes, by force, so better say BB, it be a gold for oil. And someone who say there is a policy in place. Management itself is a policy. So, at the measures, at what quem
some measure no year policy no.
And the measure when they discourage the smuggling of the gold, they arrest the hard arrest and the repatriation of those foreigners or yes and China the next available flights here the near processing move away from this
Identity.
Then we take the gold also from them. Are you getting it? If you would check it, smuggling of gold when you wouldn't have any fear that your reserves will come down. Because reserves now will build the time I will build this reserves. No. Now man for so smuggle gold. And now see cannot so break. They say yes, smuggle no. It is not going to go again.
It's coming to the basket.
And no crab it my another reserve. I'll bet me a boosty or currency.
Okay.
Whilst you still keep the initial reserves. So it is purely a leadership matter. And I made sure about export on cocoa. Okay, say, una would do a cocoa no. Obianka say, me do a cocoa and as when they do a cocoa. But the management of it. About the saying last year, first quarter of last year by this time, next Monya will go cocoa export now was under 600 million. And about the saying 1 year pay near first quarter of this year, you have 1.8 billion from export of cocoa. It is because ye buying be free ho, and ye new management aba and a management way. I say 5.4 billion in gold. In fact, total revenue accumulated first quarter $9.8 billion, far exceeding what you had last 4 years. Chrononic dream can proye ana shema buying ma. I nunti cocoa board. Ye degree muama cocoa board timi boka. Cocoa board used to be a prestigious institution. A Colabia co school. That's your person ye juma home. And so now cocoa board. I can't dream. First quarter of this year, inquire hit 3 times higher what you did.
Okay.
And yes, sir, over to say about the say policy be say the management of the economy.
Okay.
Think in Pedifua wo and yes share. Cocoa board into be increasing the revenue from that 600 million to 1.8 billion.
Manuel.
Gold also yet to be hit 5.4 billion export of cocoa.
Manuel
commodity.
So that made me say, I trust Obeka management is a policy. Management is never a policy.
On case management is a policy.
No, okay, me try. I say management and case so a policy. That's what he said.
Economic management policy. We study it in school. Economic management policy. The management of those things, no. We are taught in school.
And no cry a policy.
Apply. University of Ghana. Apply for economic management policy.
Manuel,
policy the freedom. Management.
Management is never a policy. You have a policy.
Then you manage it.
Thank you. So management is never a policy.
The policy should come before the management.
Yes. So there will be a policy. Then you manage that particular policy to achieve your goal. So management is never a policy. Please.
So they are now managing good for
now,
reserve policy.
Prudent management.
Can you allow?
Don't worry.
You remember more.
Wow. 10 time I say 10 cities.
Other because say policy bang and still here and ma see the depreciate here on chest policy.
Manuel,
so first of all, Asem Yideka, management is never a policy.
Okay.
They told me, na me wafa e kan say be say IMF
wafa no wan.
Me wafa tano.
Ya asani tano.
Actually, say IMF had a projection in 2015 or 2016. Projection, when there is a projection, you manage the economy to achieve that particular projection.
Yeah.
Projection alone
cannot
doesn't attain the kind of say
results now.
Results, no, there be. Mekai in 2015, 2014, IMF make projection be more intimi attaining. Under our IMF condition, you exceed most of our target. So our project here, no punch say that particular projection
automatically
you need to manage the economy to achieve it.
Okay.
Me another one. Me of a so saka say abai ayesa.
Who of no one ya?
Me of a tano say hey dear.
No, me just say body.
Me of a ya wasade tano. And we am rapid. Okay, some fiscal and monetary policy be a benya ye. Nanka de be asema me kanuka say policy fiscal and monetary policy. You need to be specific. No I mean say way potting and in a boa conversation no. Midi wie kra foreigners me bra pinika say ye chi omo ani ajigo na ya pamo omo no mekai
Aisha 1 na obeka
part 1 ye chi ye pamo NDC fo ya complain ye who kind the minerals mining and minerals act it doesn't permit the government to expatriate people what omo indicate say
so man option 2 options
oman 3 ready kind obe fine no the tosu no odi ni betum the tosu mi ensa both
oh sir
yes the tosu mi ensa both
but final
say a bus I was say ofole under immigration act no say obe expatriate na make sure say was serving the tenor no answer make I say one day me bahana me I read that particular act I very clear no a patch say foreigners we are foreigner and as a woba
foreigners naturalized
no Debbie wa what say Ghana wo ye galamsey no nye Ghana ni we are foreigner law na chere say de kan ye chewa e wo say ekogida asin die news e kan say embrano na ye bo okwedu e wo say wotue skebi e wo say edi utum anase miinu no ena mbrane se wo say ye pam wo free kuro ni mu a
on several
sentence ni wie
okay
answer ya pam
okay
de enti se muka se o mo chi obroni a mo be pam no ye busa se Ghana need your obey any day. Obechi na tum. Because excuse on the man say with the legal system no ye slow. Ye busa say na Ghana need the legal system na a judge Ghana ni no. Is it different from the legal system a judge Brunina na? Enti omon sem keka when it comes to China for mo be di boni wo kuromu ha no. And can say NCC so
okay.
They should come again that particular policy no. I was said this government should sit down, change their mind, and make sure so be a better to be a more than to be yes or backward. No, I say, oh, but what the crony bonnet, ya pamome, but also bet me a call. Because the obey and say also what the bonnet now. Nay, your she. The best up Pamono Saba crony. Okay, but I say
CJ remover.
Mamma and Victor.
Okay,
where you advice to the certain administration.
Okay,
the NDC are buying. T2 to gold board, national security, and police. But T2 no abeko aban ho through gold board. I want to say, Nkrofa yakochi for the first time. Yakochi, ama ye declare say sika even though amount to din. Ye na ye hu sika. Na share bags. It was alleged say cities ne foreign currency.
Okay.
And a gold bars. Ye na ye hu ye.
Fake one now, okay.
The gold board, dear, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Minya, may a foot am the man say. Also, much it be on betching and son. I am advising this government to compensate appropriately or more operation. Every single one of them should be rewarded.
Okay.
So, and yes, sir.
Next time you check
or mobeche
na making.
Ye che they been see the previous administration move. Look, I can assure you, say NPP ni be a fair-minded person. And yes, a fair-minded person be. NPP ni beer of today. On one kasa or on a caucus more, whether you are a communicator or supporter, on better how can say you for no more too selfish. Because look, anka NPP. To me, but it was selfishness, greed, and a Kobani say, and the greed was not the entire MPP, a group of people.
Selfishness, nature, then Pessamkunya. Okay, Omokwano Mudi, yeah, any adifupe, and they do Omko baby or more. Omiano than Safin Fuso. Exactly. Into Omoa, Omoko started say Omoko operation, Omokochi gold for a forest. Yes, or forest no. First, no much you. A big crop of the PSA 40,000 be. Your Bobby didn't say the driver, no, and all they my bribes so and so. The be must say bribe a whole. The Koba and say Operation Vanguard who say no man no more easy. What you say a report you be sure say gold yachi gold yenya is Kenya. And man what you say they never seized any gold or cash. Okay. But Bontiana, do you say yes, see woman? And the command here basano. Into a year must start to say they are accounting and being transparent. No, some for no more years operations. No, every single one of them should be rewarded immensely. All right. Manuel, CJ remover any
and the Oma tip off no so no. And also that person whistleblower and also should be rewarded.
Hey, whistleblower is safe for Ghana.
Enti CJ remover adenta kumi na also on the wako hu judge for ne lawyer for bi so mo ye meeting na afi e hu nsem ayompo na CJ na nkasa so ne ye suspend ni ye get through that Arabic sabato kunu also optive for say anka ni probe no yen televise no
no mo say that
all right kanina boom 5 minutes
mate
we dey bring 5 minutes
about right we senior me of ya senator no kase whistle blow
yeah tip off no ma tip off
na say we whistle blow pe chi utumu we whistle blow penti me to obi afosem obi anko whistle blow because na ye nua ya adenta komiko ye a national security for memman kentinka me hu si ne kra na me ka so mo kwo na me ka se militia fo bi aba besi adenta ye si o Ghana fo aminko hie om na omonko
se na adenta
kumikume ya kukura wa bi akeke e na omko che no I'm like hwanto ko esi e wo boko ye hia memman kentinka sei enkoko santokwa no mo jai boko nipa baako mo fa cars be se me ahese 4 se 5 mo de beti nipa baako pe hey NDC are you serious the best thing I'm betting me say send a letter the minimum no say I'm coming you invite the person by letter if we commit any crime in this instance crime on commit crime bi who send a letter so bra you invite for a discussion. First of all, is it a crime to petition the president? Is it a crime?
No.
Then what's the reason?
That's why we petition president the CJ. So
thank you.
No crime.
Enti adan na nkrofo mu petition president CFA CJ no. One so ma se yenko chesi omo kwachi omo. Ye petition say nkrofo a omo di dwumadie with this CJ issue no. Omo kotena baby omo bonkomo. Etwetwe aso. Omampeni udo man no. Dia wose wo ye ne say if committee bin put na obeti munko ye hwehwemu because already video bi aba kire se nokre. Mpenifu ekohia o baby. Whether sa asem no omko kan yo whether nya sa asem no whether no obi wo ho e no obi betu no by coincidence and I say a planned meeting no obi enim enti omampeni dia wo se wo ye ne say obefre a committee say monfunya dia monhwehwe asemi mu because etwetwe aso already ube mu na ube da ne mampeni wo ne party for am adwe say maami mu be pam no mo kwotena ase e plan say judiciary no sebi balance ye MPP for nkwa na o enti mo omoba mo so befa NDC judges enti already o ma appoint 5 NDC judges parliament ba sa NDC judges no be call for vetting na ye de o mo so akọ kan Supreme Court na at least a balance kakra ma NDC for say the case by NDC for so be di nkunim nwa Felix Ofosu kwa chiti na radio so TV so ka say 32 years ni judicial system no any NDC NDA and within this
favor MPP nkwa
and within this 32 years again MPP nkwa na edi so meboa NDC for edi so uni case ye mfa court uni evidence ye court unko court with empty hands
obi ohwe TV UTV mame nkana etiefo obi ohwe UTV obi hu se asema ye kan ya no video ni ye bo ho no mabo se mpanifo bi etu santina omo kwakotena ase na omu chechi akrofo initially obi mukra hagi obi hagi ne ba enti say ko is the say there no ohwe TV na obehu nti upa ko UTV wo Facebook ra betumi a check UTV etwa mfoni no gu kama Manuel to aso
yes enti wa wo hwe de ekosu ni esi we coincidence enti yemfa de saa osi da bi yenye hwehwemu omampani say the best thing to do is say obe pe abodwokuo yenhwemu say no kra na say nye no kra ba da bi ye fa Rambo style yenkwachi obi a wa petition the president with this Rambo style Missy me hu ye na me ka se wo bi na esi adenta. Me hu ye na me ka se koke dealer bi. wa imported 15 containers of cocaine e dey abegu adenta ho no e ne yakwa akwache no na minim se nipa ba kwa onye boni bia omun kai se from what way ente hoda sebi na MPP ti abamu e no mafiri so
ada hunhunam
o mi hunhunu bia na ndc fo sura de omun suro hwe omun se ba tutura asem a ndc fo omun no mote ase omun no mu di mukina enti ndc de ni de wo be de hunhuna no ba mbe so mote ase se ne nsuo ye no sa ne nsuo so ewia so be ye yesi de obuo no enu a na wutwa
aka 1 minute
with ade omu ye nyina say ye pamu chief justice by hook or crook yes ye ba omu ye be pamu omu chief justice they should rest assured of that and I'm sitting on this radio and saying this omu chief justice ye be pamu no everything na NDC for aye
MPP mu baba
oh Mr. Odame
yeah so this turn of say 32 years after 32 years CPP will come
Mr. Odame it should take
about 40 years now me no I say you
Mr. Odame it should take 1,000 years Mr. Odame
go 40 plus my age me try me 80
Mr. Odame it should take 1,000 years for MPPs to come to power 1,000 okay say obi ti bi yes say who offer what your great grandfathers be and omedi bone and ye you can say yeah di hu ye can simple like your asochin no so if it takes 1,000 years
still MPP will
for
come.
MPP to come to power I can assure the NDC
Rich Rim
I can assure the NDC say ade omo ye nyina ye beye bisa amana boroso
okay
the CSOs that suffer the imams all these people omehu de ekoso a obi aye din yes romo e wonyame di mu when we are doing it di no omo yes esia no omo nye sa di na yemfa mbu man no me do bibiara ase
Rich
emrese son
sir say you can sample for you no kan or say time changes
and yes. Indeed this is an empirical example
time changes in the bia to me pay you
sir what can I say that
me kwatina efie bi mu wakasoa na me kwatina ho no na me dan no emusu enti no me bibia me we inside me kitchen where ni na we inside see unhu mi wabonten obehu mi na say me pia na say me koto bibi wabonten na me gas satana me swa ba na me around 21 22
okay
me su gas wo me dem enti efewura no dako na me gas sign me gas so impromptu na asa
yeah
na me pia say o me baje obi coal pots aba be so wa enimu so coal pots so inside me de be si abonten me so coal pots me de me mo na mbe ni si so me fewura titopo time changes changes
when you pa no so dey be answer them
rent one oh me na untua rent one
na me make
ozo me pa for
yeah
just bug I am
no o chance ada no
nipa yo hey mi pie sa oba na beba me check cross show sa obo me check okọ
oh yeah guy why o
me di be jo hey me feru at top time changes hey
I'm going to make us better
so
and time changes yeah and then manual na bob na no
manual so what the toto want to miss so ho a who say indeed time changes but you see they shouldn't complain and just people before e bi omo no esu e kire Ghana ko Ghana ni bi ani wo a obe di omachi even nia wo mo enkro penifo bi eko true kra no hardly do you see their party people standing up for them because ye hu bi enche nanu ya the ordeal a omde enkrofo bi eko true the punishment the intimidation yeah omde enkrofo bi ko true about by election keke wo ayewa so how we fired innocent people as if they have no human spirit in them. Tani man ekoso no no mo fo se papa yo hene enti efi nsi no mo nim se Yakobon ahye da bi ato anim Senior CJ Ekan, whatever you do, the law
is the law.
Is the law. And if the law is the law, that's the law, no, catching up with you. You come out crying. To whose sympathy? Nobody. They shouldn't talk about these things. They should let the President Mahama, Onya Nasum na effective management and a leadership or they too akwemuno enya juma. Me ansana meba internet so and I say radio so abeka sembi and na me wo GDSS asem no o frɛ me Nyankopɔn animu a metimi aka ho asem. Na ne mo ya adehye e na bi no me ya.
Nti eba ne say no be a petition president on one willingly. No a petition president say president.
Ya ne dey obi abo no.
Na then Rambo Star
Rambo Star when define Rambo Star police be chiwa e be fa invite o do
wa. Na police invite ni pa.
Na onyo say police o me down form na nante ne so ansa no de wako.
Rich who can be o.
Pepe sa no mo de ye kane no they have done worse of it to people, innocent people. They didn't invite human spirit. They didn't encourage human spirit.
Adenta kumi young man.
Yoko young man womb. Young man nim ma adwuma no enye pepe. Se Yoko be fa wa. Se be chire nsemu.
Na dey so mkofa so waye den.
Anko ye omo yo adwuma na me na me ma chire omo nye. Omo fo se wo ye bibia e cross omo investigation and I say be boa omo investigation. They can call up on you.
So
you
no
come out.
Or through petition because or you available. If president person
the petition. I don't
on your papa or a young man on do cry.
Oh, a brapeny. The petition nsem no ehun hia me. What's the institution no e feel say be boa omudwumadi no. Enko so ogitum sa. Because Sana Moshas here, you did it, we did worse of it to people. Elections are called 2020. You killed, people died, people were maimed. President Mahama have to talk about it several times. MPP ni bene kasai. 2024 now you know wabemu. Under your leadership, people died. 2020 and 2024, if one organize the elections. If one organize the elections. 2024, John Mahama was not president. And to say Esanda there was no human spirit and nobody argued about it.
Okay.
People lost their lives. You can't come and say, yeah, invite you be or your kin or your kinana. Yeah, invite you to Yoko and you gotta for the call. Mema call.
The son invites me Eobi.
Now you invite you say, better for one and another. Yoko for me by I say dear kumi adenta kumi yaba oyeni nantina tenaka num na.
Who can be you?
Because I'm confident about it.
Yawrem.
Madam say many yan fan share say wo.
4 years old.
Yan fan share say wo. One kasa statement time changes.
Yeah, time changes.
Time changes.
Mama yente.
Oh, sorry.
Time changes ampa. Na many adenta kumi say no kure say ne yere miscarriage ya me man yako
Papa.
me man yako pa but had I know
it's always at last.
I can imagine if it is true what he is going through, and I said the wife especially is going through. But you see, if ever MPP comes to power, probably the best thing they could offer you is ministerial position. But that ministerial position can never or could have never bought the life of the child that you lost.
Also, I am my MPP.
Nyabotrela. I said party, both MPP and the NDC or any other party. If you how could be more pa a bedroom pen subino. Na be biki to be and kese winyano. Na ashero.
And na mami business and we also know I am MPP for.
Nyabotre. If you ask my personal opinion, he's my friend, but if you ask my personal opinion, I'll say yes.
Why?
Because you see, the removal of the Chief Justice, Nanka, Emra ya faswa constitution na chira ye no. Omo munim law pan omo when MPP move.
Yeah.
Until they should have at least watched the system to pan out. Na baby omo fi say enyamra kwan so no. Then they come. But now you see, omo man you too obvious.
Adenta kumi ne petition.
Nyabotre be ho. Time changes na wo kan.
Yeah.
And they say men can say NDC taking over from Kufo, you invite you Obi and I say Yankochi Obi. I stand to of course the Ibrahim Adams and Kwame Prenko they are there. Time NPP Babam 2017. John Janapone Fie, you ready ho. Ama Kofi Boa Nifie, you ready ho. Your friend saying Kofi Adams Nifie, the same thing. In fact, Her Excellency the former First Lady, Nana Adonai, one speech be kept at a certain point will be. Now, teachers and nurses will be. Bakun ko raise placard be. Ye chain. Okay. Ye chain. Now, I don't talk to me, many man what I refer now into say whistleblower. When I mention whistleblower, yeah. This is not a whistleblower thing. Whistleblower you know. But when we petition, but the reasons in tia Emma yako fa no.
It's a whistleblower behind Chese ku kukuom.
Dabi tie. Whistleblower.
Yeah. Yeni na kukuom.
You see, whistleblower no.
Act no.
Yes. The thing is that in most cases no, you are not supposed to be exposed.
Most cases.
Yeah. Most cases.
In other cases, you can. Yeah, Imran can say, you see,
but still, no. The issue of identical commit's own is not as a result of whistleblower. You know, a petition.
Yeah. That is a whistleblower. It's the same thing. We uncover something. Yeah, no, they two presidents in him.
See something, say something.
And do something.
In the petition, no, or the Akoma president, no. The petition, no, share more. Anyway, no, a video, no. But the video, no, nobody should doubt the fact that the three gentlemen walked in by themselves. It means that they knew that they were coming here to eat together, or whatever it is that they were coming to do.
Yes.
But the person who was seated already with somebody that on him some bebaho.
No.
If you watch the footage.
Good.
Into on any exchanges, pleasantries.
Good.
You see, what is missing here? Whatever it is that they discussed, no. It's not on tape for anybody to hear.
No, I don't think so.
I no need problem in here kofano no. Nyabutre so be prove. So be prove.
No, that see. My petition president.
Yes.
Okay, to president the small NIB.
That be Tio. They make patch on say we see what Asem na can. The omo discuss here.
Yeah.
The details. So
oh.
Have you seen it?
No.
And I make say the can say no. It's not here in the tape that was played to us.
Good.
So it is for him to prove.
Rambo Star arrest.
The Rambo Star in there, in my opinion, he's being pegged, you know. He's being pegged, you know. Probably was to give that particular tape a kind details about what
they were saw the tape, bro. Just call him to bring it.
So Omar discharging, no.
Yes.
Why?
Almost say Omar charging for false publication.
Or the such tape no more one. You see, there's certain please. You see, there are certain things I cannot say. I cannot say it here. But one moment, there are certain things I cannot say it here. Conclusion, no. Conclusion, no. Sa restaurant here, very simple. Is it? I've forgotten the name. Time to make. I cannot. Santoku.
Okay.
Restaurant. I'm telling you, they have a big time. Hey, you have no right in the whole world to release a CCTV footage without the authorization of court through a police in the baby sir. No one court na court order. And send over to me release it. It means that people who come to that hotel, you are exposing their privacy to people by recording their conversations. Because if identical commit was tape, does it mean say na or to tell one and I say he has been charged to monitor some perform baby omuko bi oni omocha na. Is it insult to say restaurant no e bia me fa say we nipo ye adwuma wo ho a record this details ma identical community we MPP affiliated ana when all these nitty-gritties are found out sir restaurant I don't think say anoma babesi ho say okwako in fact the government has the right to even shut it down.
No, you don't
yes
no
national security has the right to shut it down. Yes.
aha na yɛde dwumani na esie yɛda wase wo a wo send a message a yɛntumi anka nyame nhyira wo yɛda wase wo so a ɛhyɛwbo ɛhyɛwsisi wo bɛ frɛ ya wo so bɛkyerɛ wadwen wo yi ne wo bugu fam no yɛda wase Professor Asem Yideka, Dean of Accounting, Finance ɛwɔ UPSA also yɛda wase Richard Etonam Nyako, NDC Eastern Regional Youth Organizer. Manuel Dako, MPP Communication Bureau. Saasuna Yaw Asanitano, or your political analyst. Yadamon Swase. Ya frame opening kojo de miado minamidi Jumaina Hochiame. Juliana Obeng, Francis Okokroko, Midamwasipa. Kwesi abuaje the darling boy nyame nhyira se uguso etrentremie nyame nhyira obonti na kasa father Dixon na doctor nyame nhyira yeda wase na makacha se upetilapia papa edia enhwe bebia ka Milton hotel no wo no nchen ho no mo ma 7 woni kire chantan kwan no be usa Milton hotel ewo Virgins opposite opetilapia papa ene banku edia enhwe bebia udu akasa mehwe Joe Lawa saaso na tekia yatoto rich and my master the same place udu on my Chef Smith Chef Eric obesevo na abrenti bia beka ho ye frɛ no Mr. Ofori akwani bu adwuma ene Celestine omu ina atwatua na ayehosam kakra ewo ho obi ka me wo hu me hyeku tuntum Saturday pe na jese me free so a me koyi we ewo gomwa potin minua baako chese mene na anyia ne maame eda fom emende me kese chese oda yipa so a ye ba besie no ewo gomwa potin nti adofo ene enuanom mombejam yen na nana maame na da for me Nana, don't worry. Welcome to the club. Yeah, mami mwewu. Na yenko jam na. Minim se achim ehiem ni achim across for beba papa. Town ba ko efe no. Jerusalem ho na mami. One ne kunu ewo ne kunu de wo film de dada. Enti nana meba. Kodo, I am coming. Only problem. Meba tina na hwe menim se ebusuafo beba papa na health is pharmacy our ma 7 tese same ene kwame bonsu ima ene ma me yefu di afacha me nse mu tie pa mo aheda asene message za manka me fiasa me kotondro ho manka nda mitiate enti kwame meba health pharmacy ma 7 medam ase ya mo mami na meniso enti meba ho mbetondro sisi ya enti shout out nse esi afimwaji mo eniso medinwumi emamo joy is coming. Indeed, joy is coming. And you're not there. Miss also DJ Tozik. Eba abeje kunyano. Na wajimutata na premutua yako peace na yako je kesi bono. Enti DJ Tozik edemoko. Makramu ya wondersende. Bye bye.